So it's been a while, but so last year I was going into junior high public school, and so it was like it was gonna be hard. I was thinking like, oh, this is gonna suck, and so the first month or so it was actually surprisingly well. It went well, and it's for me around the end of the first semester, I was like, I can't do this. There were a bunch of projects that I was like, it was a pain. I had to work with a partner in one, and I think we actually got to do that to where I didn't have to anymore. But, so accommodations were made. In the first semester, it started going downhill around the middle of the year because it was like setting in, kind of like, it was terrible. And maybe around the third month of school, it wasn't that far into it, that I was like completely done with like school. And my psychiatrist had suggested that I go to therapy because I was talking to my mom all the time, and she said that my mom was more like a therapist. Of course, I didn't agree, but I don't know. So I didn't want to go at all, but I can't remember the order, but I eventually said, like, I needed to go to therapy, and my mom eventually made me go. So it was more like a battle, kind of like, I don't want to go, I have to go. And eventually, I actually went, and I still go, but the very first time I went to therapy, therapist's office, I was just sitting there completely silent. And I've done that a few times in the beginning, where I haven't said anything, and then he'll ask me a question, I'll say yes, I'll say no, or I'll explain something, and then we'll just go like completely silent. And it's kind of really awkward because he doesn't say anything, and I don't say anything. And the very first time, I wouldn't have said anything at all if my mom hadn't brought in this letter that I had written her saying like, I hate school, of course, and nobody understands, and blah blah blah. And so he wanted me to read it, and I couldn't. I was like, no. So we read the letter out loud, and we talked about it, and it was still really hard because I was like, I don't know this person, and I think around the third week of going, I was like, this is not working. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm talking to a complete stranger. And my dad was like, well, you have to know him first. You have to get to know him, or else, you can't just stop going in the very beginning because it's not helpful. So I continued going, and I believe that it actually helped a lot, as well as going to school, because I realized in the beginning of the school year, I would, maybe about the first semester really, I would just, at recess, I would just sit there or stand there against a wall for the whole 10 minutes that we were there, and I would just sit for 10 minutes doing nothing. It felt like forever because I had no one to talk to. But eventually, over the course of the year, I met some people, and that was nice. But so public school and therapy, a mixture of them, I think. I overcame some things, but I'm still working on it. Sometimes I'm still out of it, and I still I don't like people, I'm not going back to school, I'm not getting up in the morning, it's still hard. But therapy is definitely helpful, and I still go to it every 2 weeks or so, and it's summer, so. Also, I recently got a modeling contract, and that's cool because my mom and I were looking around, and we would email people websites and stuff, and we'd contact them, and nobody would ever send anything back. But then we contacted this one, and she actually called us back. The owner person called us back, and I got a contract. She actually got me in for an interview with her daughter who was also part of the business. So that was really terrible because I hate interviews. I hate talking. So, but I got through it, kind of, ish. And so I got a contract. That was fun. And I still am like really nervous because nobody knows anything about me. So there's this pressure to succeed or to be normal. And like whenever I go there, nobody has any idea that I have anything, any issues or anything. So it's kind of like nobody's expecting it, so I don't know, I kind of have to be normal. So I'm still in the beginning of that, so I don't know much about that yet. And next year I'm going back into public school, and that's not gonna be very great. So yeah.